Right on. Thanks, Dave. Thank you so much. Yes, kia ora koutou, everyone. I'm Allan Henry. I'm a thoroughly strange person. It's such a joy to be given the opportunity to run this game with this crazy bunch of wackos. It's really great to be. I am a big nerd and a performance capture artist. I don't know if you've seen the film The Cocaine Bear, but I was the bear in Cocaine Bear. Um, and I was also King Kong and the Scar King in the Monsterverse films. I've also been a Christmas elf. I've been a 10-year-old girl. I've been a weird spider creature. Lots of different things. But it is, yeah, it's a joy to be running this game. It's a Tales from the Loop game, which is a really wonderful kind of D6 system, narrative based, set in an alternate 1980s where the world has built this large particle accelerator known as the Loop, which has jumped human development ahead by leaps and bounds. So there are flying cars, there are personal service robots, there are technology has been integrated into life, everyday life as we know it. But we'll dive more into the adventure after some more introductions. So I would like to hand it over to my good friend Josh. Josh, my man, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Josh. I am a lifelong story nerd, a member of the 80s Kids Movies Trauma Club, and I'm really excited to see where the loop takes us with this phenomenal adventure. That's pretty much all I got because, I just want to leave it on the table. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna hand it over to Emily.
I'm Emily, and I'll follow Josh entirely by also saying that I'm an artist, storytelling nerd. My whole life at this point seems to revolve around stories, and I am extraordinarily excited to see which night takes us.
Nice. Okie dokie. Dave, do you want to do a quick intro for those who don't know you?
I'm Dave, blah, blah, blah. Let's get started.
Excellent. All right, okie dokie. No mai, haere mai, ki te kia mui tēnei rā. Welcome to today's game. The year is 1987. The winter snow of Silver Peak Mountain is giving way to new growth, new life in amongst the cooling towers and rest stop depots of the small town of Pinehurst. The first rays of sunlight reflect and ricochet off the glassy surface of Crystal Lake, glancing on the side of Silver Point Lighthouse and illuminating the tips of the Juniper Dunes on the eastern side of town, catching on the reflective surfaces of satellite dishes and temperature-controlled change booths along the beach, before striking the glass and steel of the houses situated along the ridgeline of Hawthorne Road. A few personal service robots glance up from their daily duties around various properties as the rising sun reflects in their optical sensors. A crow paws and flies overhead and darts in and out of sunbeams, filtering through the tall, lush trees along the main street, past the local shopping mall with its large neon advertisements for local businesses and cursory reminders to look to Loop.Inc. for all of your daily robotronic needs. An autonomous flag sitting atop the laneway bridge roars to life, flapping and snapping in the non-existent wind as its solar panel is recharged to full. The snap of the flag is quickly overwritten by the unmistakable roar of the magnetrine engine of a large freighter transporting cargo from the eastern counties along the path of the Laneway River, heading northwest, deeper into the heartland. However, this idyllic facade hides secrets, rumors, and urban legends surrounding the Loop facilities and their research, which are whispered in corners and around campfires. One such mystery is the strange device that you friends all found in the Maplewood Forest a few days ago. A metallic, cylindrical object about the size of a mason jar. A few LEDs set inside various panels flick in sequence, and a faint numbness envelops your hand whenever you hold it. Since finding it, you've noticed a few small changes in your daily life. As you begin your day this morning, you friends, what does your day look like? Let's start with Milton. Where are you what is the start of your day looking like? Give us an introduction to Milton.
Milton is young, 10 years old only, and he's a little awkward. He rolls out of bed a little bit later than normal today for whatever reason. Maybe he was up late reading comic books underneath the sheets with his flashlight, or maybe he was listening to the static on his little AM/FM radio that he tries to dial, and he's got it sort of modified in some special ways where he tries to maybe catch some chatter of the loop or other mysteries around the area. He wakes up, his hair, I think of like, I think of maybe Angus MacGyver's hair, sort of like, stood up on end, a little bit of a mullet action going on, a little blonde. As he pulls on his War Games, the old movie War Games, he's got a T-shirt that he pulls on, and it's got like this retro sort of digital design on it that it says "Shall we play a game?" on it. He slides on he's got a pair of sneakers that aren't quite Vans because they can't really afford them, but they're like Vans knockoffs. And the first thing he does is he jumps over to his desk that his father built for him a long time ago. And he sits down and he starts tinkering. He's got a little soldering gun, and he's got a loose pile of wires and transistors, and he's tinkering a bit before he starts to hear his mother calling from the first floor from the kitchen that breakfast is ready and that he better get his act together. And he says, "Oh crud, I better get going. I'm gonna be late for breakfast." And that's not a good way to start the day. So you're racing down the stairs.
That's true. So yeah, you grab your things and head out. And as you're heading out and saying, lamenting about the possible lack of breakfast, your Quill, your little personal service robot that you built, sits on your desk. And as you leave, it kind of swivels towards you, and there's a little LED screen that lights up with a picture of kind of digitized eyes and a smiley face. And as he chirps out at you a recorded message that you recorded a long time ago that just says, "Breakfast is the start of a good day."
Oh,
as you head out.
Righto, Quill. Thanks for the reminder.
Nice. You head downstairs. Your dad has already left for work. He's gone off to the loop. You head downstairs with your mum making breakfast. She kind of turns towards you as you head down the stairs. She's like, "Sweetheart, there you are. Okay, right. Well, I just I made some eggs and some toast. Why don't you sit down, have an eat, and you make sure you're ready for school, okay?"
Thanks, Mom.
All right, honey. And you see her walk into her writing office, a nice little nook at the front of the house. She has a desk seated by like a bay window. And her writer's room is full of stationery, books, weird like magazines that you don't understand. She has a globe, and she's kind of, the books and papers are stacked on the floor as well as in the shelves. And you see that she's carved out a little space at her desk where she sits and writes, and you can see utensils and pencils and all sorts everywhere.
Milt digs into his breakfast, but he eats each item by itself. He doesn't eat them like together. He does them one at a time with his fork. And as he's eating, he's kind of looking over towards the kitchen countertop where there's this cookie jar that's shaped like a cookie. And as he as his mom is gone out of the kitchen, he looks around just to double check that she's already settled into her writing or whatever she's doing. And he goes over and he grabs a white towel off the dish rack, and he opens the cookie jar and reaches in. And he takes out 3 cookies, and he puts them in. 3 cookies. Yep, he pulls 3 cookies out, and my favorite, chocolate chip. And he wraps them up in this little bundle, and he puts it in his little side. He has like a. It was kind of like a man purse before man purses were cool. It's like a satchel that he has slung over his shoulder, and it's got all of his gadgetry and tools in it. He slides the 3 cookies in there, and then he goes back and finishes his breakfast.
Excellent. Nice. You clandestinely sneak a few cookies into your satchel and finish your breakfast. We'll zip over to one of our other kids now. Josh or Emily, would either of you like to introduce the start of your kids' day?
Do you mind going, Josh?
100%. Fine by me.
Excellent. Josh, why don't you introduce Jeremy?
So Jeremy is he's an average sort of size 13-year-old kid, standing about 5'2", 5'3" right now. He's still waiting on a good growth spurt to come through, but he's not holding his breath. Got a mop of like tousled black hair that never looks like it's been brushed, even when he's doing his absolute best. His mornings tend to start a little bit quiet. He's never managed to beat his dad out of bed. Like his father gets up before the sky turns light in the morning. And so when there's breakfast available, it tends to be whatever's left over from what his mother made for his father, or it's cereal, because cereal's a good foundational breakfast for any young growing boy. On this morning, he sort of fills his pockets with his accoutrement and heads out to the backyard to stare. He likes to think he's looking pensively out into the forest across the fence at the back of his yard. But that might be slightly over egging the pudding. But he's, he was a big fan of The Cure, so he's got the Robert Smith stare going. As he's staring out there, he hears his father come around the corner of the house, and he looks over to see this wiry, like strong but not heavy set older man with a very focused and determined look on his face. Morning, Dad. And there's nothing, no response from his father. Just a slightly different look in his old man's eyes. And with that, Jeremy heads back through, grabs an apple off the counter, and shoots through onto the street to head into the rest of his day.
Right on. Excellent. Yeah. There's a as you head out the door, you hear the familiar kind of click and wind up of your house cleaning bot, the sweeper bot. You leave before you hear it undock itself and begin like clambering its way through the house.
I start stepping a little quicker on that startup noise.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. You jump on. Now, are you like? Do you have like a BMX, or are you?
James Mule is Jeremy's transport of choice. He had a brief fling with a skateboard a year or two ago, and then discovered that he and gravity were best at a distance from each other. So it's heavy military surplus boots for Jeremy.
Yeah. Right
pretty
on.
much everything he's wearing, he got military surplus.
Yeah. Okay. Right on. Nice. Well, yeah, you are set for the day, and you head on out. We'll head down towards Emily. Do you want to introduce Jack's first moments of the day?
I would love to. So what I can immediately tell you is that Jack wakes up sprawled across sheets and covers. Her dog Grinch sprawled out alongside her. As soon as she flings her feet over the side of the bed and hits the floor, Grinch hauls himself out of bed, and like a little bit of a failed police dog. So he's not the bestest at following instructions. There could be some really decent commands kind of tucked away in there, but at the moment he's flinging toys around, as is the dog currently in the room with me. So really I'm adding to the stream here. Jack hits the floor, pounds down the stairs, a Grinch following after her. Her first chore of the day is to go and collect chicken eggs. She surveys the farmland surrounding her, the silent, quiet robot machines in the fields, chilling silhouettes in the distance. She grabs the chickens because her mum doesn't fully trust the household robots to do so. And then she heads on inside where her mum turns them into eggs on toast.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, right on. Yeah, so you, as you were outside, kind of grabbing the chickens, you can already see some of the like your dad and some of the farmhands kind of out in the fields. But yeah, you come on in, and yeah, you hand these to your mum, and she starts getting them ready. And she's just like, "All right, how you doing, kiddo? You ready for the day?"
Grinch is gnawing on my hands.
Yeah, nice.
Jack glances around, kind of wonders if she's ever ready for any day ever, and goes, yeah, and then keeps shoveling eggs in her face.
Yeah, great. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, it is a fairly standard morning for you. You're kind of just finishing your breakfast as your mum heads into the office in your house. She's already got like a stack of invoices to deal with and like requisition orders for various parts for equipment around the farm. You hear her like kind of like exasperatedly kind of lamenting the recent increase in cost for replacement parts for some of the machinery you have. Yeah, and she's pretty much focused on that. Looking out the window now, you can see a couple more farmhands have arrived at the farm to begin kind of work on some of the fields. Yeah, right on. The three of you, I think you head out. It's kind of the start of the day. Your first port of call is probably to head to school for the day. Nice. Yeah, you head out, and as you're kind of all heading into town, heading to school, you see your good friend April, and April is currently being dropped off by her dad, and her dad, as you all would know this, her dad is Sheriff Daniels. So he's literally dropped her off in the patrol car, and April is like very hurriedly like getting out and like shutting door and just beelining for the main building of school. And her dad like doesn't do the like embarrassing, all right, bye honey or anything. He kind of, once she's out and starts walking, he just shuts the door, and you can see he just focuses on the road as he drives off. There's a strange kind of tension in the air as you arrive. April kind of heads off. You're not sure if she saw you as you all arrived, but you, the three of you, arrive at school, and there's a weird moment where you kind of look up in the sky and you see a flock of ducks flying in formation. And you look up, and they're not in a flying V. They seem to be in some sort of different kind of formation. Almost like they're flying in like a crosshatch pattern, where it's like they're almost in a diamond that they've filled out. And you all kind of look up and notice just how odd this is, and you kind of what, and you blink and suddenly they're in the flying V again. So I don't know, maybe it was just a light or something caught you funny.
Did you catch that, Jack? Something's glitchy.
If this is related to the animals dying,
but they're flying, so they're alive.
Animals being weird, Milton. Animals being weird.
Didn't you just tell me the other day, like, how weird Grinch is all the time, pretty much?
Grinch is
Milton's
different.
got a point, though. Milton's got a point. I mean, dead ducks don't fly.
Yup, I do have a point. Damn. Darn. Cool. Thanks, Jeremy. Not that I don't like Grinch, Jack. I love Grinch. Grinch is great.
You would have noticed as well, just as Jack, did you get dropped off, or did you like go to school? Did you like travel to school yourself?
Bike to school.
You biked. Yeah. Milton, did you get dropped off, or did you bike?
He probably biked. Yep.
Yeah, right on. Excellent. Yeah, cool. I wanted to check that, just double check. Okay, so it is the start of your school day. Now, you have to go to class, obviously. You have various subjects that you need to do. But for some reason, since the group of you found that strange device in the forest, everything's been a little bit different. There is a strange kind of metallic taste in the water now, and every now and then, just like the ducks, every now and then you catch one of the grown-ups in town looking at you, and as you kind of look at them, they either hurriedly look away or are very quickly engaged in a conversation with someone. It's very fleeting. You're not quite sure. Like, adults have always been weird. Like, let's be honest, grown-ups are weird. The past couple of days, like yesterday, you kind of hung out, and April kind of talked to you, and she said, things, guys, things are a bit weird. And just as she was about to chat with you, her dad arrived and picked her up and said she had to go. So things are definitely, like, something's definitely up with April. You can't quite find her right now. In terms of the day, is there anything you want to do? So in terms of, for anyone out there who hasn't played Tales from the Loop, the gameplay system is, I introduce a situation and then offer up a chance for the players, the characters, to decide on what kind of scenes they might want to explore. And it could be individual scenes, or it could be a group scene. So currently you're at school. Is there anything specific you want to try to achieve for now?
I think like Jeremy wants to, as best he can, duck and dive the less attentive teachers. Hopefully he's got a couple of periods back to back so that he can shoot to the hideout and maybe just try and get a little bit more information out of the object that we found, that we stashed away in one of the sort of bolt locker cupboards in the old science lab. Not because I'm particularly convinced that I can gain the secrets of this thing, but there's a draw, there's a mystery to the object that is fascinating. And honestly, the way it makes my hands numb sort of mirrors the way that some of Robert Smith's lyrics make me feel. So, tactile interaction between emotional states.
Yeah, right on. Excellent. Nice. Do you relay that plan to your friends?
I mean, I feel like I'd let Jack know that was what I was intending to do. I sort of come to count on Milton not quite being my shadow, but being really good friends with my shadow. But also, as
sounds
like
right.
someone in an earlier grade than us, he's potentially got a little more at stake or a little more challenge when it comes to dipping class.
Yeah, you can definitely try and dip class. There's also, you would have some time kind of in the middle of the day where all three of you would have a bit of time together. So it's up to you. It's up to you, Milton, if you want to try and dip class, or if you want to.
I think Milton is kind of one of those types that would try to perform at a high level in school. And so I don't think he would be skipping class, but I do think that before they sort of part ways in the morning, he would ask where they're going to be after school, so that they can link up, because they have, we have a lot to talk about with this, whatever weirdness is going on here. I mean, there's definitely some sort of a glitch going on, and shoot, I'm gonna be late for class. Here, you guys, I got you some chocolate chip cookies, and he gives one cookie to each of them before he's gonna go to class. But I do think, just to sort of spell out what Milt would do during the day in school, he would talk to Professor Carter. I believe that's let me just double check that.
Yep, Professor Carter.
Yep. He would go at some point.
Head of the science club.
Yep, head of the science club, and sort of a mentor, if you will. So he is going to he'll spend some time talking with Professor Carter, just to sort of, he's not going to tell Professor Carter what they found, but maybe just wants to ask him about some of the weird stuff that he's been seeing, and maybe allude to the fact that there are weird devices out there that might be doing things. Is that possible? Maybe Carter knows. Professor Carter knows.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, you will have a science class with Professor Carter in the day, so that works. That tracks. Great. So Milton's gonna have a class with Professor Carter, and then meet you all during the break. Is there anything in the meantime, Jack? Anything Jack wants to do?
Jack has shoved the cookie in her mouth.
Yeah.
A whole cookie. And Jack is torn between going to class and like Jack will follow. I'm so sorry, Josh. I just mind blank.
Jeremy.
Jack will, we got a lot of J's. Jack will follow Jeremy if Jeremy wants to go right now. But Jack will wander off to whatever class she has first if Jeremy doesn't want to go now.
I feel like Jeremy would probably be heading to first period, just so that he doesn't get too called out. Like, because if he doesn't show up for first period, then someone's going to call his parents. But you can always finesse skipping a period or two in the middle of the day. There's excuses
absolutely.
you can make. If you're not there at first period, they call your parents, and then you've got a whole other set of problems. So definitely going to first class, but there might be some dodging of the hall monitors from second period forward.
I think Jack was quite consumed by the cookie, and Milton's dashed off, and Jeremy's just left, and Jack's like, and then wanders onto first.
Over here, come on, let's go. Gotta head this way.
Yeah, right on. Okie dokie. So Milton, you are in science class with Professor Carter. He's currently kind of teaching the class about kind of very kind of rudimentary kind of physics lessons. So you're learning about speed and distance and time and force and things like that. So and you've got those little like wooden tracks with marbles on them, where you can kind of track like the distance between a straight line and a curved line. And the class. It's a pretty interesting class. But Milton, you find yourself quite almost not distracted, but as you're going through the class, there are times when you suddenly realize that you're not actually thinking about the class. Your thoughts have kind of drifted to somewhere else, and it's that feeling of, in the moment you were heavily absorbed in whatever you were thinking about, but as soon as your brain registers that you weren't thinking about class, you forget what you were thinking about. You just know that you've lost a bit of time. And you see Professor Carter at one point you get snapped out of it by Professor Carter kind of leaning down in front of your desk, and he's like, Milton, are you okay? Everything all right?
Professor Carter, I just kind of zoned out there for a minute. I'm really sorry. I was paying attention earlier. I was, and I just got distracted by something. But now I can't really think about it. What it was, and
yeah, like looking around, like the whole class has stopped and is like looking at you.
Oh shoot! He gets immediately flushed, just hot. His face turns bright red. A little bead of sweat starts rolling down his temple. He's like, but yes, this is a great lesson, and I've been looking forward to it for quite some time. Professor Carter, thank you so much for checking in.
There's like a very obvious like from behind you.
Eat it, Kyle.
Before you even turn it, like eat it. You like eat it, Kyle, and just at the same time, Professor Carter's like, hey, Harper, cut it out. All right. Onto your notes. Thank you. Right. You see Kyle is like gets to work. And Professor Carter leans down. He's like, hey, Milton, it's okay. I just noticed you were a little distracted, that's all. It's fine, that's fine. I just want to make sure everything's okay.
Do you think that do you have a couple minutes after class? Just
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. All right. The rest of the class is relatively the same. There's various notes on things. You find it a little bit easier to focus on what's going on. And as the class wraps up, everybody files out. And Professor Carter is, you see him like putting the lesson plan away and pulling out the lesson plan for the next class. And he looks up and sees, he's like, yeah, Milton, did you want to talk about something?
Yeah.
Yeah, have a seat.
Oh, thanks. He pulls up the chair and sits down, and he's like really low on the desk as he's kind of like sitting there. He's this tiny kid. There's something that I wanted to ask you about. Have you noticed anything weird going on in Pinehurst the last couple of days? I mean, not just weird as in like, like Kyle putting 2 marbles in his nose and that kind of thing. I'm talking about like weird, like the birds flying in a strange pattern, or just like people just sort of like staring and like totally whacked out. And the water, I don't know if you've noticed, but the water tastes kind of funny. I don't know. It's probably nothing. But if there's an explanation to it, it's got to be in physics, right?
He's like, yeah, I remember a teacher of mine said everything is math. Everything is math. It can always come down to math. Honestly, if there's one thing I've learned in my whole time, it's that, the world is weird. There's so many things we don't know, so much left to discover. We thought humanity had reached a golden age when the loop was built, and really we just realized that there was even more that we didn't know. But in terms of what you're saying, like, it's pretty common for people to be intimidated by things they don't understand, and if there comes a time in your life where you start going through changes in terms of like your outlook on life and your body, like that can really, that can be a confusing time for a lot of people. Can you? You can see now, like Professor Carter is really. Like he's trying to give you the birds and the bees talk.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit.
Even though you're like, and also like you're 10 years old, but you can see that Professor Carter, this brilliant man of science, with his his like NASA tie and his crisp shirt, and he's his very neat hair. It's like suddenly, like this is the first time you've seen him searching for what he's trying to say.
Professor Carter, I mean, scientific discoveries. I'm not really here about like personal discoveries and that sort of thing. But I appreciate your advice, of course.
You see him. He instantly gets as red as you, and he's like, no, Milton, no, that's what I meant. You're right. Scientific, like philosophical.
There's so much left to discover, and I want to be part of that. I really do. That's why I'm trying so hard in your class. But I just feel like
honestly, Milton, you are a fantastic student. You
really?
You have a great, yeah. You have a knack for this sort of thing. You have a mind that is heading in a good direction. You know, you're asking questions about the right things. You have an affinity for discovery. You can see the world and kind of figure out how it works, or at least you have a drive to figure out how it works, and that's an asset. That's a real bonus.
I ask a lot of questions, is what my mom says. A lot of questions.
Yeah, you do. But that's the thing. You should. Everybody should always ask questions. Always ask, because then at least you know, right? You're never gonna learn anything if you don't ask. So your best bet is to keep asking those questions. Don't be, never be afraid to question everything.
I have a question for you then, and this might seem weird, but let's just say you and your friends found something, like, I don't know, some strange device in the woods, for example, and you didn't know what it was, but you had a sneaking suspicion that, and this is totally hypothetical, which is a new word that I just learned recently in your class. What would you do to find out, like, what it was?
There is a moment where you see Professor Carter, you look up and suddenly Professor Carter's staring at you quite intently as you're saying this, before he's like, wait, Milton, wait, what?
No, you know what? I'm going to be late for my next class. But here, he reaches into his pack and he pulls out this little, this cookie that's wrapped up in a towel, and he pulls it. I was gonna eat this later, but you know what? He cracks it in half. We can share it. Thanks a lot. I gotta go. We'll see you later.
Sweet. You head out, and just as you head out the door and turn to leave, you kind of catch a glance, and Professor Carter's holding the cookie, and it's just kind of looking at you like, what?
Milton's just gonna he's gonna take a moment as he closes the door behind him. He goes, God, you were such a hoser in there. Pull it together, Milt. And he's gonna walk on to his next class.
Nice. Yeah, right on. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, we can jump ahead to meeting the gang in the hideout if you like, or unless Jeremy or Jack has another anything else they want to find. Yeah, right on. Okay, great. Yeah, nice. You find you all have about a bit of space now, and you head out to the hideout, which is one of the old science buildings at the school, which has been marked for renovation, but the school itself doesn't really had either the funding or the energy to renovate them. Some new buildings have been established for science, and these ones just kind of sit unused at the back of school. The group of you have found that you found access to one of them, and you have set it up as a sort of pseudo hideout / secret base in the school. Jeremy, you would be the first one there. Jack would probably arrive shortly after. Milton will probably be the last one to arrive. Is there anything you all want to do as you arrive, or here's what we'll do. One of you, or each of you, please describe an aspect of the hideout that you think your character has added to, you know?
There are at least 8 mildly, potentially kind of like dilapidated tall science bench tables that sit in the middle of the room that ordinarily would have at least 2 students sitting at them. And Jack has gone along and on the underside of them doodled. Yep.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah. Nice.
I think one of the doodles is just her writing her name over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Sweet.
I feel like one of the things that Jeremy sort of like come to begrudging love about the science lab hideout is the little spark, little static shock that he gets from the lock that Milton ended up rewiring so that we could get into the building. But every time you touch it, you just get that little.
Yeah, that'll.
Get the door open. But inside there are like old drop cloths from the art department and maybe some old stage curtains from the hall where the theater kids practice that we're gonna get dumped, but you got to bring a little like blackout curtain aesthetic everywhere you go. Even if you've never actually pulled the blackout curtains, you know that they're hanging in place, and adds a little sort of je ne sais quoi to the whole place. I'm still not sure how to spell that, but it gives a little. I don't know what je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know what that
means. Sweet. Yeah, right on. Yeah, so you, some of these drop cloths and curtains have been like have been hung properly, and some of them have just been kind of shoved up over like a rail and kind of jammed in.
I mean, look, I'm not a handyman.
Yeah, exactly. But it does the job. It does the job, and you hit some of the lights, and there's that kind of buzz and like of like overhead lights that fire up and kind of give this space a workable but not fully lit vibe.
I feel like the sort of the essence of what I was going for is that that the Goblin King's shadowy halls as you step through.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Love it.
Jack saw one book in art history, the library. It had gargoyles on it, and in keeping with that vibe, there are gargoyles drawn on the edges of each table. Yeah.
Great. Nice. Yeah, Jack saw gargoyles. Excellent. Milton.
Well, part of the reason why there's that little bit of a shock from the handle of the door and the locking mechanism is because there's an open circuit on there that Milton did intentionally. Now, the reason is because when that shock occurs and the circuit is completed, remember those AV carts that had like the old big VCR player and a television on it, right? So he has one of those wheeled behind the curtain. And he has one of those shoulder-mounted VCR camcorders that everybody had back in the 80s, right? And he's got that set up so that when that circuit is completed, it turns on the recording device so that if anybody ever sneaks in, they can get a recording. And he has an old VCR tape. They're not even sure where they got it, but it's an old VCR tape in that recorder that will record the whatever the intruder's actions are when they come in.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so yeah, there's many minutes of footage of just Jeremy's face being like,
yes, exactly.
God damn it. Occasionally, Jack will be standing behind me being like, damn
it. Yes, for some reason, everyone just always gets Jeremy to open the door first.
Makes sense.
We're not stupid. Yeah.
Who wants to be shot?
No one.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, the three of you head in to your hideout. Yeah, another thing you notice is that after seeing April at the start of the day, you haven't really seen her in class. So you're not quite sure what's up with April at the moment.
Was April going to meet us today?
I haven't seen her around today. I mean, maybe she got is today a tutor day for her? I can never remember. She seems to go through tutors like I go through shoelaces.
Maybe she's working on a new dance routine or something.
Do you have a competition?
You do, because it is springtime in Pinehurst. The town is getting ready for the Pinehurst Silver Peak Hiking Challenge, which is a big hiking kind of festival that takes place up on the Silver Peak Mountains. And part of that festival is at various points during the week there are performances, and a couple of times April has and her dance troupe have kind of performed. Last year she did like a rendition of a popular Madonna song. So it's not unheard of for April to be doing kind of extracurricular stuff for that. It's odd that you haven't seen her during the school day though. She doesn't. Normally her rehearsals are after school.
I mean, maybe her performance is tomorrow, and that's why she's got special permission to be practicing today, rehearsing. Who knows?
Makes me nervous that she's not here. Were any of you followed to school today? I know that's a weird question. I know it's a weird question.
I mean, Grinch followed for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. He would have followed you Grinch would have followed you all the way to the Laneway Bridge.
Grinch is potentially at school somewhere. Were you followed?
I don't think so, but it's possible.
Milton, is this another one of those you found a microphone in your refrigerator that you'd forgotten that you'd installed and then you thought somebody else put it there?
No, I know that's happened more than once, but that's not what I'm talking about this time, Jeremy.
We've had this conversation, Milton. Like, I don't think they're following you. You might just be on the same route as somebody being followed.
Somebody else could be getting followed and it's not me.
Well, I mean, but that's a different thing. And you can see how that's a different thing, right, Milton? Like, it's not you being followed. You're not
still somebody
in danger.
Following somebody, though.
And I almost missed breakfast this morning, guys. Almost.
I'm glad you didn't, Milton. That is, breakfast is the best way to start the day. Sets you up for success.
Do you want to know why I almost missed breakfast?
Yeah.
Of course. Tell me why you almost missed breakfast, Milton.
Well, so last night I was on my computing machine and I was just kind of screwing around, and I found myself kind of chatting with some, I don't know, they said they were hackers, and they were just kind of handing out government IPS addresses, and I checked it out and there was a bunch of files in there, and I got really nervous, but I did look at one of the files, and I just thought I would bring it up because I feel like maybe I was followed, but I don't have any proof.
Milton, what was the file about?
The name of the file was ship_mfest, which I think meant manifest. I don't know. But when I opened the file and looked at it, there's all kinds of items that were supposed to be shipped to various locations and inventory requests from Tony's radios hack.
At this point, Jeremy pulls out this, what is clearly like a leather wallet that he's like hacked a notebook down to fit into the card sleeve so that it's a notebook cover. And he's desperately like scribbling this stuff down. Okay, Milt, I'm fairly sure that what that actually said was Tony's Radio Shack, not Tony's Radio's hack. That's his spelling mistake, clearly, because who's got a radio's hack? Radio Shack.
Tony?
You know what that is in town.
Mm-hmm. I know Tony.
Is it
I know.
Really hacking if you can do it with a coat hanger, Milton? Is it really hacking at that point?
No, you're right, Jeremy. You're absolutely right. I don't know what I was thinking. He's totally right, isn't he, Jack?
Like, you've gotten a list of these things that are going from going to Tony's? It's going down to the Radio Shack?
Yeah, like some sort of an inventory request. I don't really know what it means. I don't know anything about running a radio's hack store.
Does it sound kind of like Tony's Radio Shack might have placed an order and the order has been shipped in, and that's what you were reading?
Yeah, that's kind of what it seemed like. But why would that be? Why would that information be given out by somebody that's calling themselves a hacker? That seems suspicious to me. And now I'm just, you weren't followed here, were you?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna check the video recording. Yeah. I'm gonna check it right now.
Just to make yourself feel better.
You know how you put the thing up to your eyes and like you're looking through the machine so you can rewatch it? Oh, yeah. Jeremy got shocked. Oh, Jeremy got shocked again.
Uh-huh.
Is it, whereabouts is the camera situated? Like, does it look down at the lock, or is it like near the lock, looking out?
It's kind of like head height for a teenage, like a 16-year-old, let's say. And so it kind of, it should capture a face maybe, and like a forearm as they're going to reach for the, it's a tight field of view. Yeah. Yeah, you flick through, there's like Jeremy getting shocked. There's one point where you can see Jeremy getting shocked from yesterday when you guys were at the hideout. And just as he pulls his hand back, you can see in the distance, there is the corner of one of the buildings. You see what looks like a person disappear around the side. Whoa. Rewind. Look at it again.
Rewind? No, that's not them. No. You rewind a few times and have a look, and it's no, Jeremy pulls his arm away. It's just the side of the building.
You good, Milton?
I mean, I don't know. I'm feeling a little grody, but I'll be okay.
Did you sleep last night?
Not much.
Were you getting into your dad's coffee again?
Ooh.
I might have had a little bit, but that's just because I was on my computing machine and I was going to make a breakthrough. Like, I was so close. Now I'm just nervous.
I know, but we talked about this, buddy. Like, the less sleep you get, the less sense you make. And the number of times that you manage to, like, find a breakthrough through no sleep is far, far outweighed by the number of times that you've fallen asleep in Professor Carter's class. Or, I mean, you remember the one time when you fell asleep on your bike on the way home?
Yeah, I still have the scar on my elbow from that one.
You gotta sleep, buddy.
Jeremy, that's some of the most righteous advice you've ever given me, and I am definitely going to heed that advice. No more coffee late night when I'm working on my computing machine.
Brilliant. Nice, love it. Now, where in this hideout have you placed the small device that you found?
Well, there's, I mean, like, as an old science lab, there's going to be, you know, the chemistry, like the chemical store cupboards and that sort of thing. And some of the more delicate equipment's going to be kept in maybe not like lockable, but it'll have like slide bolts on the cupboard doors. So I figure like in one of those, maybe artfully obscured with some boxes, or maybe the look to call it a wingback chair would be giving it entirely too much grace. But it was definitely a chair that I've like put some plywood bits and then hung a draped curtain over to give the effect of a wingback chair.
It came from the staff room originally.
Yeah.
It definitely came from the staff room.
Yeah.
It's
got good bones.
Yeah, yeah.
It's definitely comfortable.
Yeah, nice.
Except
Nice.
You know, the leg. It's got
awesome.
cardboard jammed under it.
Nice.
So like in one of those little cupboards, sort of, you know, artfully obscured by that, where you wouldn't see it at first glance, but there also isn't like a giant shiny lock sitting on it to draw the eye and catch it.
Yeah, right on. Nice. So Jeremy, are you going to check out the device?
Yeah, I think Jeremy's like, his notebook is kind of his like his Bible. It's his, you know, it's where he puts all of his stuff. You know, there's journaling, there's keeping notes on bits and pieces. He's got a section devoted to this device where he's just been making some little sketch. Look, he's not talented at drawing, but he sketches a little bit, trying to like capture it from different angles and sort of make observations and notes on it, that kind of thing. You know, like he's generally going to be what's the word I'm looking for, offering the stage to Milton for his technical and scientific knowledge on the materials, or you know, the gravitronic positional flow of the item, or whatever it was that Milton had said that one time. But there is something about the object that is deeply fascinating. Like it is magnetic to look at. It draws the eye and draws your attention. And he's trying to capture a piece of that.
Yeah, right on. Okie dokie. Now, this is, you go and retrieve the device. As you do you grab it or do you just look at it?
Well, I think like, you know, because we found it a day or two ago.
A couple of days ago.
Yeah. So like with some degree of delicacy, I'd be sort of putting it up on one of the tables that Jack has so artfully decorated for us. Just so that it's got a little bit more light and so that I can see it from slightly different angles. There's part of me that's sort of using it as a almost like a bell tower above the gargoyles on the corners of one of the tables. I don't think I'd ever admit that to anyone, but you know, we're creating architectural interest in that.
Yeah, excellent. Nice. Well, would you like to make a roll to try and figure it out, or do you just want to
honestly, like I feel like I'd probably want to take a swing at it. I mean, let's get the first roll of the game going.
Let's do it.
Let's see what's up.
Yeah, sure. So is there a specific skill you think would help?
I feel like like science isn't really my thing, but trying to get a feeling for the nature of the thing, just, you know, because form follows function in a lot of areas, and this certainly seems to be something that was built for a purpose from the ground up. So like investigating that kind of avenue a little bit feels like the direction. Well, that's not bad. So that's a total of 9 on the dice.
Oh, so which skill are you rolling? Which skill are you using?
Investigate is the skill.
Investigate. So you have a 2 in investigate, so you would roll 2 d6s.
Yep.
And you just need one of them to be a 6 for a success.
Then that was 2 fails. That is disappointing.
Sure. No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
query.
Yes.
Sorry, on game mechanics.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for the first roll of the game. Does he also roll his attribute dice, or just the skill?
At this point, it's probably just, I would say just this. Oh, actually, hang on. Let me double check. You're right. I think it is. I think it is the attribute as well.
I thought it was a pool combined of attribute and skill.
Yes.
Sounds right.
Yes, it is. You are correct. Thank you for reminding me. So Josh, you would be rolling. You would actually be rolling 66 because your mind is full.
Hello.
Here we go. Come on, baby.
Nice. Thank you, Emily.
1 success.
Excellent. That's all you need. So, first of all, as you pick it up to place it on the table, there is that familiar numbness in your hands, and it's kind of a it's a buzz. It doesn't hurt or it doesn't appear to affect you other than just kind of buzzing your hands and making them kind of that weird kind of numbness. And as you place it on the table, the numbness, as soon as you let go, the numbness disappears. And you take a while to look at it. And now that you've had some time, when you found it in the forest, it was kind of dark, and it was, you suddenly found yourself with this thing, and you didn't know what you wanted to do with it, and you hurriedly, ran back to the school, and you kind of stashed it in the cupboard. Now that you look at it, there are some very noticeable. It looks like either ports or inputs. There are 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. So this device looks like it could be attached to something. The LEDs, the little LEDs at certain parts of the device, there are 3. There's one near the top, near one of the ports, and there are 2 in the middle, sitting essentially like sideways. No, they're not the length, they're sitting along the width. And as you look and spend some time, you notice that the LEDs are blinking in a sequence, that goes the 2 in the middle, one side to the other, and then up to the top, and then repeats one side to the other, and then up to the top in terms of the flashes.
Does the sequence have, in terms of like its timing and does it have a rhythm that feels at all familiar?
It feels familiar in the sense, it seems familiar in the sense that it is that each flash in the sequence has the same time between, and the time between the top flash and the first flash is the same as well.
So it's a perfectly even rhythmic,
like a cycle.
Sequence.
Would Milt recognize what type of input jacks are in this device? Like, has he ever seen those before?
They don't look like anything you've seen. They're not serial ports. They're not like RF ports. They're not like jack inputs. There's some sort of input. So all of the ports, there are 4 of them, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and all of them look similar to headphone jack ports in terms of, it looks like there is a socket for like some sort of rod-like structure to be inserted for it to attach. But it's definitely not, like, it's not a headphone jack, and it's not like, from what you can gather, you're like, that is definitely a socket for something to be inserted into, but that's about it. The sockets seem they're square, they're not round.
This is really weird. I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, Milton, and like none of you, like all of you have grown up with loop technology, with the advancement, like, you know, with magnetoring and you know, and Grinch has cybernetic enhancements. Like Grinch is a cybernetic dog. And from all of your experience, most of the inputs for these machines and technology are all circular inputs, similar to like serial ports or headphone jacks. So this is the first time you've seen one that's kind of designed in this sort of square fashion. So yeah, like it definitely, there's nothing, you've never seen anything that would fit this, if that makes sense.
But it's definitely has some sort of a power unit of some kind, yeah, because there's lights blinking. Can we hear anything? Like if we hold it, if we like listen close, do we hear any whirring or clicking or any?
Is it a weird question? Does it smell like anything that we would recognize?
It's like, do you pick it up and smell it, or are you just trying to smell the air around it?
I pick it up and smell it.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, you pick it up and you smell. It smells earthy. You're wondering if that's because you found it half buried in the dirt.
Yeah.
And then, Jack, you pick up a scent that is, somewhat like it's a metallic smell, but not, you know, like it's not the smell of like stainless steel or aluminium or anything. Like there's a smell that you've smelt this before on the farm. Yeah, and yeah, you've smelt this when various like some of the service machines in the fields have like spectacularly broken down and like essentially like ruptured or like exploded parts, and when the machines like leak some of this like fluid, like the hydraulic fluid,
and they've like fried the, okay.
Yeah.
So I turned to I put it down, I think. Did it make my hands go numb too?
It did. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so shaking my hands out,
Yep.
put it down. And I turned to the gang and I'm like, the lights are going, but it smells fried.
Like it's broken?
Yeah, well, it smells like when the robots on the farm break or they start leaking. It's kind of got that smell and dirt, but well, I figure the dirt came from the dirt.
The dirt came from the dirt.
Is there any kind of like seams that we can see? Like we can obviously see the two square ports on the top and the bottom, and the LED. But are there any like seams along which parts of this thing might have been put together, or does it appear to be like an entirely smooth object externally?
It's where the ports are on the top and the bottom. You can see seams as though like it's designed to kind of like screw together, or there's some sort of that's been placed. It's cylindrical, but there are along its surface, it's ridged, kind of like a baked bean can or a bean can, how it's got the ridges in the middle of it.
All right, just a question. Best guess. I mean, we're just throwing out wild ideas here. What do we think this is? Is it some sort of an energy source?
There's no like visible kind of mic, is there? There's no like little mic holes. It's just the lights, the ports, and these ridges, and it's a cylinder. Well, I feel like maybe it like connects to something.
Yeah.
Honestly, Milton, like I feel you're the expert here, but this to me kind of looks like almost like a transformer kind of thing that you'd see out on like the power lines, and that it's adjusting the current level, right? Like, is it amps or ohms or what? Like, you know this better than I do, buddy. I've just seen these things drop off power lines out by the forest after a big storm. You know, the things that like help regulate the power.
Out by the forest.
But you know
there are large because the main loop research facility sits on the other side of Silver Peak Mountain. There are massive power lines that go kind of across the side of the mountain towards Pinehurst, and there are various large kind of like local transformer stations in various neighborhoods of the city. So there's overground power lines.
Okay.
At certain points. And you have noticed that sometimes they don't look like this, but there have been large metal boxes that have blown down in storms and had to have been replaced. In fact, Milton, you would have salvaged one of these for various components.
Yeah. Yeah, and usually that's usually accompanied by some sort of a power outage or surge. Yeah, I mean, maybe we could inquire with the power company and see if there was any sort of surge, find out maybe where this thing came from. I mean, maybe we should give this to somebody who knows.
We could go to the like I could be wrong. I don't spend a lot of time at Tony's, but he was no electronics, right? Like we could just
yeah.
Surely we just show it to him and he would know.
That seems like a great idea to me. I mean, you spent time with him, right, Milton? He knows you. You're a customer of his, right?
Tony's good. Don't mention that the file hack thing when we're there. Just
right.
Okay. So the question that I have then that I feel like is a pretty important one is, do we want to take the object with us to Tony's, or do we just want to, like, I mean, I've got sketches of it from
your drawings,
every angle that I can, you know what I mean? Like, we can talk to him about it as a more hypothetical object if we don't take the object to him. I don't know. It's not a store that I've spent a lot of time in. So
I think that's a great idea, Jeremy. But I would like to go back for a minute to something that you said earlier. You were out in the forest recently?
I was walking like right along the edge of it, and that weird forest park ranger lady, she's so weird, and she genuinely gives me like the hair standing up on the bed, like a prickle. You guys get the prickle anytime?
Not with her.
Looking at me like I'm weird, and I don't know what to do with it. I don't. It's like I don't want to go into the forest, but I can't get away from it, and
maybe
it's hard. You know, it's that same sort of feeling that when you know that the stovetop is hot, but there's part of you that just wants to make sure that, like, that. No, you guys are looking at me like I'm really weird, and I know that I'm weird, but I really do with a little reassurance right now, guys.
Look, I think we could all just take a chill pill right now, and I think if we take the drawings to Tony's radio's hack and see what Tony thinks. I think we should circle back to the forest thing at some point too, because as far as I have heard, the ranger's really nice. But I did hear that there's some cool stuff going on in the forest. Like sometimes at different times of the year, they put up nets and they trap bats that are flying around, and they put little bracelets on them so they can track bat populations. And they've been doing it for years. So there's cool stuff going on out there in the, well, bats are kind of scary. That wasn't a very good example, but anyways, Tony's?
I can see why that would be really cool, but all I'm hearing is that they're capturing creatures that are smaller than them and tagging them to track them.
And they drink your blood.
And like, how are you not creeped out by this, Milton? You're convinced that people are following you to school, and the idea of being trapped in a net and tagged for tracking doesn't scare you? I genuinely don't understand you sometimes, Milton. Like, it is, can you not see the crossover there? Are you?
I'm seeing it now. Thanks, Jeremy. That's terrifying.
Love what you love, and like, that is amazing. But if they're doing that in the forest, and I don't know if I can be part of that. Like, I don't want to get trapped in a net and tagged like one of like a stock animal.
Maybe we're being tracked already. I feel like I'm getting more and more paranoid as this day goes on.
Well, maybe we should get moving then, because like, it's always harder to track a moving target.
How much more school do we have left of the day?
You've got like one more class.
Do any of us have that with April?
Yeah. Like, as opposed to being like, do any of us have that with April? You can straight up just be like, our next class is with April. Like, you're allowed,
okay.
you three get to decide the scenes that happen.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So I offer you a chance, and you can be like, yeah, I want to go to my next classes with April. And we're like, yeah, canonically, your next class is with April.
Awesome. I want to go to Tony's Radio Shack.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to one last double check to see if April is at school and we just haven't seen her today.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
right.
knowing that she is in the next class, it would be a good opportunity to quickly clarify.
Yeah. You hit your last class. April is not there. She should be, but she's not.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right on.
Heading
Nice.
to
Okay.
Radio
I
Shack.
feel like the last class of the day just speeds past because April's not there. There's a lot of confusion, like we're not actually focused on what the teacher's saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like the end of the day anyway.
Yeah, and even the teacher is the same, right? The teacher's just like, when the final bell rings, they do that classic like wiping down the blackboard, and they're like, I can't remember class. Next week we've got a pop quiz test. Man, walk, as you just like file out of the school. Now, as the group of you are heading out, you are heading out to the main gate, and you can see that familiar clique of cool kids, right? Who really don't like you and your friends. And they're like, if you go out the main gate to get to your bikes, like, you'll have to encounter them, and you know that they love nothing more than just kind of ruining your day. So you can walk towards them and try and deal with that situation if you like, or you can try and find an alternate way to get to your bikes. It's the end of the day. There's a lot of kids leaving. There are cars and vans and like pickup trucks pulling up. The cool kids are, they're like leaning on one of the posts and chatting, and some of them are. One of them literally like trips up a kid who walks past and laughs at him as he falls over. So yeah, it's up to you. Like, if you head straight ahead, you will encounter them, or you can try and find an alternate way if you want. What would you like to do?
I think we need our bikes, but
Yep.
I'm interested in finding an alternate way.
I
would-
don't know if I've got the energy to deal with these absolute D-bags today. I haven't got it. Can we?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe if
there's
we had across the front field, we can make our way around to the side. It'll take us a little longer to get there, I know, but not today.
Well, Tony's radio's
Yeah,
hack is open for a couple more hours, so we're not in a rush.
Yeah, Tony's is open for a while. Absolutely. Okay, so you divert and head across the fields, and there is a like a large chain link fence that you'll have to scale to get over. Can I have all of you give me a body roll, please, just to see how you clamber over this fence?
Yes. Body. Oh. Fail for Milt.
Success.
Jack.
So success, 2 successes and a fail. So yeah, Jeremy, Jack, you guys are just like over the gate. Milton, you get over, and just as you're like jumping over the top, your satchel gets caught, and you're like kind of dangling for a bit. As you're I assume Jeremy and Jack help Milton down.
Help!
Yeah,
Oh
we
my God.
got you, buddy. Okay. Okay. Look, Jack, if you want to get one foot, I'll get the other, and we can just push. Yeah.
Boost.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Push.
Yeah, you reach up and you help Milton down. Milton, yeah, as you get kind of disentangled from the fence and down, you hear a ripping sound.
Oh no!
And you look back, and a piece of your satchel bag has been caught on the fence, and it's torn open. So now there's a hole at the back of your bag.
Mom's gonna be mad.
A few of your bits and pieces have fallen out, and you kind of have to try and rifle through the grass to try and find them.
Yeah, I'll try to gather them as best I can. Oh no! Yep. I can't lose any of my stuff. And he kind of starts a little bit. He goes into almost like a panic as he's looking for everything, and he's counting them as he's putting them back in his satchel. Oh, Mom's gonna be really mad. Dang it!
Hey, Milton, it's okay. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Come on. And I feel like what Jeremy would be trying to do is sort of help him gather up his bits and pieces, but then also maybe finding a length of reasonably flexible wire to use to stitch, really roughly stitch the hole closed in the bag. It's not a perfect fix, but it's kind of it's on brand for who Jeremy believes Milton to be, and a little bit punk rock as well.
Yep.
Getting a little bit of a homemade repair aesthetic.
Yep.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Nice.
That's actually really cool looking. Thank you.
It does look really cool. Now you have this coil of kind of stitched wire around your satchel. It looks really, really cool.
It's totally bodacious.
It was a bit of you, and these things will happen. Your mom will understand because you've made the effort to repair the bag. So I'm not going to get too much. You haven't lost anything. So no harm, no foul, right? We're good. Let's head on.
Thanks, guys.
Nice. Yeah, you get to the other side of the bike sheds and manage to grab your bikes. Jeremy, you lace your boots tighter, and you head off to.
I have a question about the bike shed. Just while we're there, do you see any bikes that are still there in the bike shed that we would know belong to any members of the Cool Clique?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Jeremy's gonna take his dad's bayonet and just let the air out of some of the tires.
Brilliant.
Look, don't give me that look, Jack. I might not have the energy to deal with them, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna let them off the hook.
Jack's on board.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, sweet. You There are like 4 bikes now with the tires with like slowly leaking air. And you grab your you grab your bikes and head off. As you kind of head towards Tony's, the group of you do notice across the road. You're not sure if he saw you, but you see the tan brown kind of Buick, and you see the detective sitting in there. Looks like maybe he was looking at the school, or maybe he was looking at you. He was probably looking at Milton, but maybe not. What's his name? Detective Harris.
Detective Harris. Do we see him? The car?
Oh yeah. Like he's not being clandestine. He's in his car across the road, looking in the direction of like the bike sheds and the school.
Don't look, you guys, but Detective Harris is right over there, keeping a watch on God knows what, probably us. Don't look. Jeremy, don't look. Jack. You looked, Jack.
Jack totally looked.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Detective Harris has been in town for a while now. Because of the recent disappearances during the Winter Festival, Detective Harris has been sent from another state to kind of investigate and kind of ask a few questions. You've seen him around talking to various business owners. He spoke with the mayor and the like kind of community leaders who were present at the Winter Festival to try and figure out what was going on. And yeah, it's like every time the adults talk about it, it seems like a lot of kind of nonsense to you. They seem to be talking about all sorts of things whenever anyone brings it up. So yeah, Detective Harris has been around. He's been at the school a couple of times actually. But yeah, you just see him across the road. Maybe he's looking at you, maybe not.
He's totally looking at us.
Jack
I
gives an awkward wave.
Oh!
There's a moment where you see Jack gives a wave. Detective Harris looks kind of catches your eye, Jack, and sees you and sort of like awkwardly waves back. Like,
how are you doing this? Like, where does this come from, Jack? Like, he's so interesting. He's seen so much more of the world than we have, and like he's waving at you, like you're waving at him, like you're friends.
Do you know him?
What is it like to be you? I don't. I also feel like Jeremy's almost kind of like riding on the pigs on the back wheel of Jack's bike.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Jack's a farm kid, so like power to the pedals.
Yeah, it'd be either pigs or handlebars. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah,
I don't know, like it's the pegs because of the long black coat that I'm wearing, which gives the like
flowing,
dust
yeah.
in the wind.
Yeah, brilliant.
Because definitely a bit.
I haven't like had a conversation with him, but well, you know, like Milton was worried about being followed this morning. I like did like a little bit of like following of him.
What?
I just really wanted to know what he's up to and
Reconnaissance missions, Jack.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
Yeah, well, I was like, well, I want to learn from the best, basically. Yeah, but I don't think he saw me.
You're amazing, Jack. I don't quite know what to tell you. That's incredible.
Yeah, you're totally following a detective. Like you're a detective.
He's not even spotting Jack. That's
I don't think so. But like he could have. But this is yeah. So Tony's Radio Shack. I'll race you there.
As Jack starts to pedal away and Milt's kind of like his short little legs are trying to keep up. He kind of like leans over before you take off. He's like, I'm not supposed to say this, Jack, but you're pretty bitchin'.
Um,
And he's trying to keep
yeah,
up on his little bike.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. And we arrive at Tony's Radio Shack.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Nice. So you head into the middle of town, to Tony's, and Tony's is like Tony's is a like it's every kind of like small town hardware store that's just shelves of stuff. It's like I guess it's organized, but there are old CRT TVs that are stacked on each other. There are just like open containers, almost like ice cream containers, full of like bolts and like wires and things. It's like it's less. It looks like Tony just salvages things and dumps them in these boxes. But Tony's, you get to the top, and it does indeed say Tony's Radios Hack, but because of the way the signage works, it does look like Tony's Radio Shack.
Lovely.
And Jeremy's looking up at the sign, being like, I think this might be the stupidest I've felt in quite some time. I thought this was I genuinely thought this was a shoe store. Was this not a shoe store?
This is the Radios Hack.
Does Tony call it a Radios Hack? When Tony does he?
He just calls it Tony's.
Oh, okay.
Tony just calls it Tony's.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, like, Jeremy's not wrong. Like, Jeremy, like, this used to be a shoe store. Like, it was a shoe store, like, but that was like years ago. Like, Tony bought this place long before any of you were born. Like, he's, this shop's been around for like 18 years. And in fact, you're not even sure that Tony is the original Tony.
Ooh.
You arrive at the front of Tony's. As you're heading, kind of pulling your bikes up, you can see walking past you and heading across the road. You see Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, who are the owner and operators of the Silver Metal Bakery. Just across the road, they've got like this wonderful bakery. They make like pastries and like it's your classic small town food stop. Like they head past you, kind of walking across back to their street, and they see you, and just kind of like give you a wave. Mr. Johnson's like, "Hey kids."
Hey, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, you getting ready for the festival?" And you can see now, as you've come into town as well, businesses have already started putting up like bunting and marquees to kind of mark the start of the spring hiking challenge. And he's like, "Yeah, you ready? We're looking forward to it."
So
yeah.
It's going to be the event of the season, sir. That's what it's going to be.
Let's just hope that nobody else goes missing.
You see them they both like look at each other and then like look at the group of you, and they're like, yeah, here's hoping.
That's a good hope, Milton. That's a good hope, buddy. That's what we're looking for.
Well, let's all keep an eye out, okay? All right.
You have a good day now. Take care. Johnson's et al. Inside.
Yeah.
Come on.
You guys, they seem really suspicious.
Guys, could we pop? I'm hungry. Like, do this, and then maybe
Milton,
Is it?
Are they suspicious, or did you just offer them the weirdest version of well-wishing ever. Hopefully no one else disappears.
Those two things are not mutually exclusive, Jeremy. But yeah, I catch your drift.
Said anything to them. Your decorations are looking great on the bakery. I really like your popovers. I don't know. I hope no one else goes missing.
Sometimes words just come out of our mouths, and they just lie where they lie.
Thank you, Jack.
And we can't always help that. So
rarely, actually.
Yeah. Dirt is dirt.
I'm sorry, Milton. That's
canon.
I'm having kind of a weird day.
Shall we
having kind of a weird day.
Go on in and have it?
Right. So you watch the Johnsons. You watch as the Johnsons go into their bakery and go kind of in and behind the counter. And as they go behind the counter, they both just like look out the window at the group of you as they're working. Like,
Jack gives them the same awkward wave as before.
And they don't wave. They just kind of like Mrs. Johnson looks at you and is like,
oh.
And then you see her turn back towards Mr. Johnson like.
I hope we still get our discount.
Nice. So you turn just as you're kind of like you're looking at the Johnsons. You are turning back to Tony's Radio Shack, and you hear an incredible crash from inside. It sounds like metal shelving knocked over, and large items are falling down and crashing on the floor. And you hear a voice cry out inside the Radio Shack. And yeah, as Jack like heads through the door, and with the rest of you following, let's pause there and take a break.
Ooh.
Shall we?
Hell yes. Oh man, you guys, this is so much fun. This is so much fun.
This is great. These kids, I love these kids.
Yeah.
These kids are so cool.
Yes, these kids are great. We got to find April, and we're going to do the best we can. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, everybody. Thank you to all the goofballs that have joined us in the chat. We appreciate your insanity, and it looks like you guys are having fun. We're so glad that you're here. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Thank you, everybody. See you shortly. And we're back. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Josh and Emily and Allan, this is fantastic. Thank you for coming here and doing this with me and playing this game. I'm having so much fun. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to toss it right back to you, Allan, so we can dive into Tony's Radios hack.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, well, before we dive in, I just want to give 100 points to Proxima Rising because I remember tuning to Channel 3 before you plug in the video game. Anyway, so before the break, you arrived at Tony's Radios hack and had a brief chat with the Johnsons before they went to their bakery. And just as you turned back, you heard a loud crash and sounds of objects and metal hitting the floor and a voice crying out. You run into the store and you can see towards the back of the store the back door that leads to one of the alleyways behind the store is swinging closed, and you can see beyond it a figure in a looks like some sort of long coat with a looks like almost like a duffel bag on their shoulder, is running out of the store. A shelf that was full of pieces of like tools and containers has been knocked over, and you can see Tony getting up from looks like he was maybe knocked over or shoved to the floor. He gets up and kind of leans on a one of the benches, and Tony is he is a bespectacled gentleman with a goatee and brown hair tied into a ponytail, he wears like a red kind of bandana that's kind of tied like almost like a sweatband, and he gets up and he's got like a brown short-sleeved like collared shirt that says Tony's on the pocket, and he's kind of getting up and is kind of looking around. He looks almost dazed, but he sees the group of you kind of come in, and it's just like, what
are you okay?
Were you just robbed by someone? What happened? Are you okay? Like,
you see, he's kind of holding his head. It does look like you can't see any like obvious bleeding or anything. But he kind of holds his head and he's like, So there was a guy. He I asked if he needed help, and he freaked out, and he kind of he like shoved me, like super hard, and I hit the bench, and I fell over, and now he's running out the door. I need to call the police. I need to call the cops. And he's kind of like fumbling and heading towards his the phone.
Milt will race up, grab his glasses and that fell onto the ground, and hand them back to Tony. Here.
He's like, thanks.
Do you need
Jack,
some water?
if we grab your bike, we can probably follow that guy.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
So yeah, you can stay and like talk to Tony and figure out what happened, or you can boost after this guy who's gone running. If you stay and talk to Tony, you most likely won't catch that guy. So it's up to you. What do you want to do?
I think if we could go after him and come back if we.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look,
sure.
Even if we just find out where he heads to, like we can, because Tony's going to call the cops, right?
Yeah, good information, right? Yeah. Jack sprinted in, and Jack now like sprints out.
Yeah. Run back out the door. Milton, are you going with, or are you staying with Tony?
I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna run out the back door that this thief or whoever, this assailant, left through, and I'm gonna run out into the alley and see if I can see anything and just run down the alley. Yeah.
So the alley heads out. The alley runs alongside the back of a row of stores. So he has run out the door and turned left, which is heading towards the kind of southern end of town, towards the river, not towards the mountain. He's kind of heading down towards the river. And you, Milton, you run and kind of barge out the door, and you can see him heading, like he's meters and meters ahead of you now, sprinting full tilt down towards towards that end of town. There are a number of bins and kind of bits of trash and stuff that he's running around and kind of dodging past. Jack and Jeremy, you two head out and you run out the store, you mount up, and you're not sure which way to go though. You kind of have an idea, like you kind of saw which way he turned, and you know that a couple of stores down there's another alleyway that goes into the, like you can that you can get down to get into the alleyway if you wanted. What do you want to do? What do the three of you want to do? Like, you're just going to chase? Jeremy can take Milton's bike if you want.
It's small.
Well, here's the thing: is that I figured that riding on Jack's pegs is kind of when the gang is together. That's Jeremy's sort of modus operandi. Because I feel like a farm kid's going to have a slightly sturdier bike than
mine's a kid's bike.
Young fella Milton. And April's got the fanciest bike she can get. She's certainly not putting aftermarket pegs on the back wheel.
I want to head down the alleyway that we know cuts into the back alleyway.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, can I have all of you make some sort of check? What skill do you think would allow you to catch up or hit him off?
Move?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to.
You can make a move roll with a body roll with move.
I think Milt would use, if this is sort of a stretch, but hear me out. He's gonna use a calculate, in the sense of thinking about the technology of roads and how they're laid out in this particular district of the downtown area, and where they might intersect. And he's going to sort of do this quick calculation in his head and maybe take what you wouldn't think is the direct path, but maybe it gets him there faster.
Absolutely. Great. Jeremy, you're on the back of Jack's bike. Is there anything you want to do?
I think genuinely it's just kind of like trying to move with Jack, trying to be like an additional sort of like adding weight to Jack's center of gravity on the bike rather than being any kind of adding resistance to the ride, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Take corners.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's a move roll as well, kind of thing.
Yeah, right on. Go for it. So you between the group of you, you only need one success. But if you don't get a success, like this person is going to disappear.
I rolled already.
Yep.
I got 2 successes.
Two.
Ooh. 2 successes.
Okay.
As well.
2. All right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Jeremy. 0 successes. That's fine. So now you have what are called extended successes. So you will catch up to this person, but now you also get to buy different effects based on the skill. So let me just quickly bring up the list here. There are certain things that you are able to do. For move, bonus effect would be give success to another kid. So you could give that success to Jeremy. You could either impress someone or no one notices you. Basically, you also get to declare what you think extra successes might mean in terms of.
So Jeremy didn't succeed?
Yeah.
Even though Jeremy's on my bike?
Yeah, because Jeremy did roll.
Okay.
So Jeremy was rolling to kind of try and help you maneuver your bike a bit better in terms of weight distribution.
Okay, I think based on those facts, I would like to bonus give Jeremy a success.
Excellent, cool. Which means you're not going to fall off your bike, right?
That's what I was like, ooh, yeah.
Excellent. Nice, Milton. You got an extra success. Is there anything you would like to declare.
I'm thinking that he calculated so well the trajectory of the assailant and his path through this alley system, that he runs out and he looks in one direction to see the guy running away, and he doesn't see him. And then he turns around and sees him as he runs right into Milt, and they both go pell-mell, tumble over each other and sort of like sprawled out on the ground, and maybe the burlap or the duffel bag kind of rolls off his shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great, excellent. So, Jack and Jeremy, you come like careening out of this alleyway, and as you come out, you both know that you're at least one building ahead of this guy. So you come out and do the classic, like you slam on the brakes and like wheel slide around. And what you see is you just catch the figure collide with Milton, who comes out of another alleyway and gets hit. And you see the figure like runs into Milton, doesn't like knock Milton over though. The two of them kind of roll and like Milton gets kind of deposited like near you on the bike. Milton, you're like sliding up in the dust. And you see the figure like kind of rolls beside you and slams into some trash cans that are like fall down. There is a moment where you see a disheveled kind of tousled brown-haired man with these like piercing blue eyes get up and look at you before he like pulls up a hood on his shirt, and you're not sure how, but he turns and leaps up to the second story window of a building and hauls himself through a window. The duffel bag is left on the ground.
Oh, do we get a look at his face? Like, would we be able to maybe identify him later potentially, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you saw him again, you'd absolutely recognize him. Yeah. He had like a young kind of Kurt Russell in like Escape from LA, that kind of grizzled with like, he was a dreamboat.
He was sexy is what you're saying.
I just need a little water, just a second.
Jax just watched a man jump a whole story.
Yep.
And the only thing she's thinking is, I want to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
How do I do that? Duffel bag completely forgotten. It's like, what? Physics calculations, not really. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy's like swinging off the back of Jack's bike and like very carefully putting one of his boots on the duffel bag, but is like staring up at the window that the guy went through. That's we all saw the hood that jumped into that window, right? We all saw the window, the jump.
You know how
Milt's laying on the ground.
Milt. Jack helps Milt up, still staring up at the window. And she goes, you know how they keep saying our bodies are gonna change? Is that like one of the things we get when we like graduate?
What do you mean change?
Don't worry about it, Milton. You'll be fine.
Have you been talking to Professor Carter?
Oh right, Milt. I forget you're a couple years younger. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing, and your mom will probably maybe have some things to say to you sometime about that.
Gag me with a spoon. Ugh.
Sorry?
What? Your mom did what with a spoon?
No, it's a turn of phrase. Oh, never mind. April says it all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, Jack, I don't think we're going to be able to do that.
What's in the duffel bag, guys?
Yes, the duffel bag, of
Ooh.
course. While you hit the duffel bag, I will point out, Milton, when this gentleman collided with you, I noticed that the chat has this Snake Plissken collided with you. You, like, there was a brief moment where your brain was like, oh no, like a full-grown adult is going to collide with me, and you expected to be like really messed up, but you remember as he collided, you heard him say, "Damn it," and you felt him actually wrap his arms around you and kind of roll with you. And just to further endear Snake Plissken to our hearts, like, he felt so muscular.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, he felt like you were being cradled by a Greek statue.
Smelled like Old Spice.
Smelled like Old Spice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe Dracar Noir.
You remember that? Yeah. Like, you've all been collided with before, either in sports fields or from bullies or whatever. And Milton, yeah, you were caught by him as he rolled and essentially like deposited, near your friends.
Whoa.
When you open the duffel bag, you see, you, like Jack and Jeremy, you see like just a bunch of tech. Like, you just see tech, circuit boards, components, a few like looks like almost like servo arms, like long, like metallic kind of beams that have bolt holes on them, so you can like attach them to things. You see a couple of like maybe pulleys, maybe. Milton, after you dust yourself up and look, like, this is like a treasure trove for you. Like, you see the makings of like construction. Like, whoever you know that you could use these components to build something. You see like casings for certain pieces of equipment. You see like portable power sources. You instantly spot a like a radio frequency card that will like emit a radio signal. Like, yeah, this is all like the upgraded version of the tech you've stashed at the hideout.
Mm-hmm. This is some serious stuff.
Also, Milton, you've never seen this stuff at Tony's before.
I've never seen this kind of thing at Tony's, so I don't know what's going on. Wow, look at this. And he pulls out the servo arms and he pulls out the radio frequency card, and he's just like, he's going to try to study it as best he can in this short period of time and just sort of inventory what he sees.
Okay, Milton, here's the most important question, because you say you've never seen anything like this at Tony's. You've spent a fair amount of time here. My question is, how many double-ups of things are in this bag right now? Because the right and proper and good thing to do is to take the whole bag back. And maybe it was stolen from him and maybe it wasn't, because you've never seen it. But if there's double-ups, maybe we take back some of it and you can use the bits that were lost in the scuffle or destroyed by the fall. Are you picking up what I'm putting down, Milton?
But this is Tony's stuff.
But you said you've never seen it at Tony's, so how could it be Tony's stuff?
Allan, as I'm kind of looking at these items, I'm trying to query back in my little 10-year-old brain, tech brain, to the manifest that I had hacked into. Am I seeing any, like, are there serial numbers or, I mean, I don't have a photographic memory, but is there anything that are these items from that list? Maybe.
Maybe. You could definitely make some sort of roll for it if you like.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
But you know two things for sure. One, you've never seen these components at Tony's, and this is like, you don't think you've ever heard of this sort of stuff being available in like the county.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this is like, your dad has talked about some of the stuff that goes on at like some of the facilities he works at, and it kind of sounds like that.
Do these items look like they were, like, do they have packaging on them? Do they have price tags on them like they were going to be sold at the Radios hack?
Not that you know. Not
Okay.
that you notice.
I think I'm going to use investigation if I can, just to see if I can remember any of these items being listed on the manifest.
Absolutely can.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I did get 2 successes. I rolled 4 dice and got 2 successes.
2 successes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is for investigate, yeah?
Yeah. Yep. This is mind investigate. Yep.
Cool. So you succeed at what you're trying to do, and you also you can kind of declare some extras if you like. These components, like, yeah, a number of them fit some of that shipping manifest that you found. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically the inventory requests from Tony.
I will relay that to my companions.
There is also one thing you can do with an extra success is you can ask me, the DM, a question, and I have to answer you truthfully.
Okay. I will ask you a question. Yeah. Do any of these components that are in this duffel bag look like they have a square shaped connector that might fit, for example, a strange device that we found in the woods?
Great question. They do not.
Okay. Look, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, Jeremy, but these are things that were on that manifest. I think we should give them back to Tony. Maybe Tony will help us better understand what they are.
Okay, that was all I was looking for. I was just offering ideas, throwing out shapes, seeing how they land. I saw the way your eyes lit up when we opened that bag.
There's some good stuff in here, but we can't steal it.
Okay, well, if we're taking it back to Tony, let's take it back to Tony.
Sweet, you're taking all of it back to Tony, yes?
That's what Milton said.
Okie dokie. Nice.
I'm gonna turn to Jack as we're walking away. I'm gonna go, I think Mom would be really proud right now.
Yeah. And she like claps you on the shoulder. She's like, yeah, buddy.
Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, for our viewers who aren't aware, we didn't really specify the ages of these kids, did we?
I didn't even describe Jack as a person.
No, sorry, viewers.
Jack is a person.
So do you want to just quickly remind everyone what you look like and how old you are?
I would love to.
Okay, you can go first, Emily.
Jack is 12. She's about 5'4", tall, lanky, clearly going through a growth spurt, short, choppy brown hair, cat, Grinch constantly at her side. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Excellent.
Jeremy is a 13-year-old boy, 5'2", 5'3", tousled black hair, wearing a long, dusty, like, black coat over, like, clearly military surplus studs, big black boots on his feet. Yeah, very, very, like, dark bags under his eyes kind of thing. Or almost like the sort of proto aspect for what the Sandman would come to look like in the comics that would be getting published about that year as well.
Excellent.
And Milton
Nice.
is a awkward, scrawny little 10-year-old fellow who has, if you think of MacGyver's hair, he's kind of got like this blonde, kind of like messed up hair with a little bit of a mullet, and he's got a War Games t-shirt with this retro sort of "Do you want to play a game?" printed on it. Blue jeans that are rolled up at the bottom, not hemmed, and some knockoff like imposter Vans that he wears because they can't afford the real ones.
Yeah. So yeah, Vams or something.
Yeah, Vams, exactly.
So Milton's mom really loved the Lost Boys then?
100%. Yeah.
Nice. So as the group of you head back into Tony's with the duffel bag, Tony is you see him, he's just getting off the phone, and he hangs up the phone and sees you. He's like, "Oh, geez, okay, yeah, yeah, you kids okay? I called the cops. They're gonna be here soon. Why'd you run out there? That was dangerous. That guy was pretty dangerous.
Do you know that guy? Do you know who that was?
No, I've never seen him before. He came into the store and was picking around at some of the parts, and he went towards the back, and I went to try and let him know, like, hey, this staff only, authorized personnel, and he like grabbed a bunch of stuff and knocked me over.
Well, we got your stuff, Tony.
What?
We got.
Wait.
Yeah,
what?
He dropped his bag after we intersected his trajectory, I guess.
Oh geez, are you kids okay?
Oh, we're fine, I think.
Got a skinned elbow.
Yeah.
But okay.
Oh man. Oh okay. You see, he goes behind the desk and like pulls out a little like first aid kit. He's like, Milton, come here. Yeah.
Thanks,
and he,
Tony.
Grabs like a band-aid and kind of puts it on. He's like, yeah, that should do. Sorry about that. You kids, like, you shouldn't go running after people like that. He was bad news.
We had your stuff.
Oh right. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Yeah, good. And he like grabs the duffel bag and goes to the storeroom, and you see him like quickly open the door, like throw it in and slam the door again.
Hey, Tony.
And he's like, yeah, so look, the cops are going to be here soon. I'll probably have to answer a few questions and, give them a statement. And, you kids, like, you don't have to get involved in none of that. I won't tell them that you ran out there or anything.
I guess I did have one question, Tony, right?
Yeah. Tony.
Why was none of the stuff in the bags in any kind of packaging, or like there was no price tags or anything on it?
So, are you attempting to like interrogate Tony to try and get? Yeah, sure.
Just a little bit.
Sure.
Yes, yes.
You see him. He's like, I mean, it's some new stock that just arrived, and I didn't have time to like, itemize it and go through and then price it up, and it's 87, right? We're coming to the edge of this decade, and tech is improving.
There's some really high level stuff in there, Tony. Where did you find that?
You see him like instantly like look at you, and he's like, "You looked in the bag? You looked?"
We
What?
had to check what was taken. It could have been your stuff, or it could have belonged to this person. That could have been clues to help the police find him. We didn't know whether you'd been stolen from, or if he just vandalized your store and assaulted you. We needed to make sure that we were doing the right thing. And then when we saw that it was clearly stuff that had come from your store or something very much like it, we thought we'd do the Good Samaritan thing and bring it back to you, the person who is definitely stocking these items in your store.
See Tony like, Tony is like visibly sweating now. And you see him like, you know, he's like, oh, geez, okay. And he like, you know, like puts his glass, it's like, all right. Look, and you see he like kneels down in front of you kids, and he's like, look, I'm on a level with you, okay? You need to forget that you saw any of that stuff. All right? Like, you didn't see it, and if anybody asks you, I don't have it. And it's just, you know, there's some things I just don't want you kids to get involved with. All right? It's grown up stuff. It's grown up stuff. And you know, I just don't think it's I'm not trying to I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I know you would have, I should have assumed it, look in the bag. It's but look, just you know, like maybe just forget you seen it, maybe.
Well,
look, Tony, he's so nervous right now.
Tony, if you've got stuff that you're trying to hide in this old place, have you considered putting it back where the shoe store used to keep their exotic leathers?
You see him, he's like, what? Wait, what? How did you know about the safe? What? Who are you? What do you? What?
No, not the safe. Not the safe, Tony. And Jeremy's just going to like push past him into the storeroom and go back to one of the back walls and bang on it, and a segment's just going to pop out. This storeroom.
Whoa.
He's like, no, wait. And you like bang the panel and it goes, opens, and even more tech falls out. And he's like,
What are you into, Tony?
And you see me, he's like, jeez.
We got to clean this up. We got to clean this up before the police get here.
It's like, he's like freaking out. And you see me, he's like, okay. Jeez. Like,
I guess you didn't know about that one. I'm really sorry about that, Tony. I didn't mean to make a mess.
Like, Tony is freaking the hell out. So, like, you've never seen Tony this this frantic, and he, like, you're not really sure what is going to happen, but if you don't calm him down, like, you've all seen grown-ups kind of fly off the handle, and like, Tony is friendly, but like, he's not your friend. You know what I mean? And you kids are like witnessing an adult, a grown-up, like stressed and freaking out. So you're gonna need to find a way to calm him down if you want the situation to kind of stay in control.
Tony, don't spaz. Okay. We can clean this up before the police get here, right, guys? And Milt's gonna go over and like start. Yes, helping Jack.
Like, oh, jeez. They're gonna.
It's gonna be okay.
And the kids are gonna be here. And that's, oh man. He's like, oh no. You see him like he walks to the door and like turns the sign from like open to closed. and you swear you hear him mutter like, oh jeez, I can't go back to jail. Oh no, jeez.
I think Jeremy's just suddenly starting to realize that maybe the incredibly confident I know where the secret place is in this store act was not the right move. And sort of looking at Milton being like, and Jack starting to tidy stuff up. He's going to go out and try to sort of like, to the greatest extent that a 13-year-old theater kid can empathize with a blue-collar supply store worker or owner. Going to try and like empathize with him a little bit, try and be like, yeah, you know, things are on top of you right now, but like we can find a way through this. You know, that we'll be able to build a bridge over this troubled water. I guess that's the song, isn't it? I'm not.
Nice. Yeah. Would you
to Simon and Garfunkel?
Yeah, sure. Would you like to roll empathize? Mind with empathize.
I think that would be an excellent idea. That is.
Yeah. So that's seven d6s.
7 total.
Yeah, you're gonna need more than one success because he is a grown-ass adult freaking out. Also, if there's some way that Milton or Jack could be helping with this situation, please do let me know.
Jack's gonna.
How'd it go, Josh?
1 success.
1 success. Okay. Now,
out of 7 dice. What?
Yeah, out of 7 dice and 1 success. So that at this point is not a success. So, Jack, or points. You do have luck points. I was just about to point that out. You have luck points, which let you re-roll a dice based on how many luck points you have.
Cool. So I've currently got 2 luck points.
Yep.
And I feel like I should probably be using at least one of them just to try and...
By all means, yeah, go for it. Re-roll another one. Actually, let me quickly double check. I believe that's what. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what. Yeah, go for it. Go roll again.
I did not succeed on that.
Oh no. Okay, Milton, Jack, is there anything
Jack.
you're doing that you think may help with the situation?
I think Jack's hustling, moving really quickly, like throwing tech, not gently, but also not. She knows enough not to like break it in the process of shoveling it back in the cupboard. And then she's like pitching. She's like, Tony is fine. Tony, it's going to be fine. Like, I'm almost halfway done here. And it's our friend's dad, who's probably coming. We'll just have a chat with him outside, and that'll give you more time to breathe, maybe have some water. I have some questions for him anyway. Yeah.
I mean, who's to say the guy in the cup was ever really here? Like, maybe we knocked over the shelf.
I want to know where April is.
Sure. Yeah. Go for it, Jack. Make a roll for me. What would you like? Is this a heart or a mind? Roll? Do you think?
I think I will go with. I think my instincts are it's a heart and it's a lead, which is not many dice for me.
Okay, yep. So that's 3 dice, 3 d6s.
1 6.
Yeah, so that's two successes. Okay, great. So between the 2 of you, well, between the 3 of you, because Milt, you managed to kind of get everything just out of kind of public view, either back into the secret compartment or in the storeroom where you shut the door.
I have one other thing that adds to this, maybe.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
If I may.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so Milt is going to reach into his satchel and pull out a cassette tape. And of course, in Tony's Radio's hack, there are cassette players, right, that are linked up with the sound system.
Behind that's constantly playing.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm going to open that up and I'm going to slide in my my cassette tape of Purple Rain by Prince, of course. Yeah. And it's queued up to When Doves Cry, because that's my favorite song. I love that frickin' song. And I put that into the sound system and push play. And I'm like, everything's gonna be okay, Tony. Just listen to the words. Bump, 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 bump. Bump, 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 bump.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, okay, yeah, right. This changes things. There's a point where you all see like Tony like freaking, like he kind of like looks at the 3 of you, and then you see him like yeah Yeah, you're right. Yeah, everything's yeah. Okay. You know what? It's good. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that is a catchy song. Yeah. All right. All right. You see him? He's like, it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Just breathe, Tony. Just breathe. Just breathe. And almost immediately, the patrol car for Sheriff Daniels turns up, and you see him get out, and he like sees the closed sign on the door, and he kind of leans in and like on the glass and like looks in, and he is like he just looks perpetually aggravated by things, and like like you've seen times where he is just like he will attend April's dance recitals, and you're not sure if he doesn't like being there or if he's sick of people harassing him while he's there. He's like at his daughter's dance recital and people come up to him to like talk shop. So he just seems like a beleaguered kind of town sheriff. And after a while, Tony goes to the door and opens it, and Sheriff Daniels comes in and like instantly sees the three of you and looks and is like, all right. Okay, Tony, was it like, what are they doing here? What's going on? What seems to be the problem? He's like, yeah, hey kids, hey.
Are you asking Tony or us? Because
he's looking at you like he like instantly assumes that it was you. He's like hands in his belt loops, like, hey.
I mean, we were just hopping through the radio's hack, and then that one of the shelves there was falling goods, and Tony here was he fell and hurt himself, and like Jeremy's kind of trying to like feed enough story so that it can go in either direction, but he doesn't make the decision for Tony at this point. So it's kind of like trying to push it to a point where he steps in and feeds the rest of us the story that we need to buy into.
Yeah, great. So yeah, you see Sheriff Daniels like kind of like and he turns to Tony. He's like, you said there was a robbery? Yeah, the guy got away. And you see Tony's like, yeah, he there was a guy. He came in and like grabbed a bunch of stuff and ran out. And the kids here, like they helped tidy up, and they saw the thing. They weren't involved at all. They came in. It's another guy, and like you can see, like Tony is flustered,
Mr. Daniels, sir, Milton here needed to pick up some things from Tony, and when we got here, Tony was on the ground. That we heard the shelf fall inside, and so when we came in, we were just trying to help Tony tidy up a little. He called you, that's why we're here. And I know that we've had conversations like this before, sir, but this time we were really just trying to help out Tony. He seemed flustered.
Nice. Right now, Sheriff Daniels does not believe any of you, Tony included. So is there something you can do?
Excuse me?
Come on, Jack, you got something?
Convince Sheriff Daniels, because Tony has calmed down, but Tony is like still quite panicked, especially now that like Sheriff Daniels is there, and he's like, Tony, come on, you said there was a robbery. I turned up, the kids are here. What is happening? What is this? So is there anything you think you can do? You can also just boost and get the hell out of there if you want to.
I think Milt is elbowing Jack and sort of like, because Jack seems to know this officer better than the rest of us, I think. Or maybe not as good as Jeremy on different levels, perhaps, but...
It is April's dad.
It's April's dad. So,
Yeah.
so Sheriff Daniels is April's dad.
Yeah, I've had dinner.
Yeah, Jack's been over there.
Jack's gonna give the same kind of awkward half wave that is now part of it.
That is Jack's thing, yep.
And be like, Mr. Daniels, sir, we were outside. We were waving to Mr. and Mrs. Johnson across the street. Real hungry, and then we heard this. So you could ask them if you wanted to. And we heard this huge crash. So we came running on in. I don't think I've ever been in here in my life before. But yeah, we came in. This man was like upset. He still is upset. He seems to be.
And he'd fallen over, sir. Like he
better.
Kind of hurt himself a little.
Yeah.
Like,
and you see Tony's like, yeah, I did. I fell and I bumped my head. Like wiping more sweat away.
And sir, it's totally
like
true.
His red bandana is just like saturated.
It's
make a charm roll for me, Jack. So that's a heart with charm. So that's another 3 d6s.
totally true. I come in here all the time, sir, and I was telling him how cool this place was, and that we should stop by, and we did.
Nice.
No successes there.
No successes. Okay, so you have luck points if you want to re-roll. You can also push a roll.
Ooh.
So just to read you the rules around pushing a roll.
Yes, please.
If you push, you have a chance to. It's like rolling again without burning a luck point. But the consequences may be a bit more heavy for you in terms of you might take a condition. So it's up to you. You've got luck points. You can also push.
I think I'll push. I think this.
Yep.
I think this has been upsetting. It's been a big day, sort of already. Yep. I haven't seen April all day. This whole rigmarole was not fun. I got complimented earlier, and I didn't really like that.
So excellent. No, excellent. That's great. So now, because you are pushing, you have to declare one of the conditions you think you will get.
I'm going.
So you choose whether if you fail, you choose if you're going to be upset, scared, exhausted, or injured. Probably not injured.
I think upset.
Upset? Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can push and re-roll all of your failures to see if you get a success.
Re-roll all of them. Okay, sweet.
Come on.
No.
So you just from seeing Sheriff Daniels, it starts to really hit you that you haven't seen April all day.
Yeah.
And what's most upsetting is the fact that you decide that Sheriff Daniels doesn't seem to care that April's not around either.
Yeah.
So you have the upset condition. You just find yourself kind of overcome with these, just kind of with just how distraught you are, that the realization that you haven't seen April all day and weird things are happening and her dad's being really mean. Yeah. So now, because you have a condition, every check or roll you make, you have to minus 1 die from your dice pool. But there you can still use a luck point or your pride if you think your pride might help. But we can also just roll with this current situation.
I mean, my pride would apply here.
Yeah, you can absolutely roll again.
It's another roll. Whoa.
No. You can use your pride once per mystery, and it gives you an automatic success.
Ooh.
So you can declare that you're upset, but you succeed, or you can just be you can just take the fail and be upset.
I think my pride is intricately involved in this situation.
Because your pride is you help people.
I help people.
Yeah. Okay. So you all can see Jack getting flustered and overwhelmed and upset. And you see Sheriff Daniels eventually looks up from his notebook and sees you, Jack, and you see him like instantly put the notebook away, and he's like, hey, Jack, hey, okay, calm down. All right. Look, like, it's just, this is a very serious situation. You know, there's a lot going on. There's, you know, a lot of stuff happening, and you look a little overwhelmed. So why don't nice. Why don't you well, yeah, you kids you look, if I need to talk to you, I'll come find your parents later. Okay? You guys can, I'll talk to Tony. And yeah, it's like, it's okay, no one's hurt. You're not in trouble, honey. You're not in trouble. All right? Yeah, you guys head on out of here. I'll talk to Tony. All right?
Thank you, officer. Milt's gonna reach over and hold on to Jack's hand and just kind of like pull a little bit in the direction of the door. Let's go.
Sweet. Jack goes with like silent.
Yeah. Nice. There, because what happened with Tony and Sheriff Daniels was so kind of they're kind of deep in this like discussion now, and you can see Tony's sweating and kind of stressed out, but you can leave the store now if you want, or like whatever you want to do. Basically the focus of Sheriff Daniels has shifted from you to Tony. Both of them seem preoccupied with Tony's statement right now. So yeah, what would you like to do? Like you're not under any scrutiny from anyone.
No.
So you are free to go.
I follow Milt out and realize that we both didn't get to ask Tony our question, and we still don't know where April is, and I kick a lamppost.
Nice. Jeremy, did you want to do anything?
I think Jeremy's just kind of a little flustered at the way that things have kind of gone down. Like the guy in the coat leaping in a way that felt unreal. Like seeing this adult basically have a mental breakdown about stuff that just felt like it didn't seem that serious to be like hiding stuff. Like, what's weird about having, you know, secret compartments and whatever? And sometimes people know about them and sometimes people don't. And so the whole kind of, there was just a lot of emotion floating around, and it's Jeremy trying to process it and sort of,
yep.
I guess he's trying to like stuff his hands into his pockets and find a breeze to blow his coat dramatically, but he ends up just kind of looking like he's cold and wrapping himself deeper in it.
Yeah,
trying to stare brutally, but it's still the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah. The group of you head outside, and you all notice in the back of the patrol car is April's school bag.
Do you see that? There's April's bag. What the hell's
okay?
heck?
So we all saw April get dropped off at school this morning, right? We saw her get out of this car at school, and now her bag's here.
I mean, maybe her dad gave her a ride home after school and she just forgot the bag in the back of the car.
I mean, maybe, but like, why isn't she hanging out with us? Like, where is she? You know, why did she go home instead of hanging?
I'm sure she's fine. Milt's gonna look at Jack. I'm sure April is at home, probably helping get dinner ready. I don't know, but maybe should we go by her house? Maybe we could go over there.
That would be nice. I would like.
Yeah, you can see her school bag in the back, and latched to one of the straps is April's cassette Walkman, and she is never without that Walkman. That's like her thing.
Yeah, I feel like Jeremy's kind of leaning over the window of the car a little bit and like spots the Walkman on the strap.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know where she is, but something's wrong here. Like she wouldn't be without her Walkman.
We could wait for her.
She hasn't got her tune.
Can we see inside Tony's? Is Mr. Daniels still deep in conversation and distracted?
Oh yeah, harder, yeah. In fact, they're now at the back of the store by the door to the alleyway.
Awesome. Jack's gonna try the patrol car door handle just to see if she can get it open.
It's unlocked.
No alarm?
Nope.
Okay, she grabs the backpack.
Yeah, sweet. The whole thing?
And then hoofs it. Yeah.
What?
Backpack, cassette player.
Yeah.
Time to go, little buddy. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, so the three of you mount up. Are you heading somewhere specific?
I was thinking, either April's house or the hideout.
Either one. Yeah, either one's good.
I feel like I'd be inclined towards the hideout. I feel like we need to sort of recenter, reground ourselves before we push forward with anything else. Taking a beat might be the move.
Like, I think it could be good to look in the backpack, see if there's maybe a note, like it would be, but I don't want to do that here.
We just stole something out of a police car.
It's April's
Guys.
school bag.
As you're closing it down the road.
Hey guys, we just stole something out of a police car. What are you thinking?
Gosh darn it! We didn't steal anything. This is April's bag. This is our friend.
No duh.
Returning it to her.
We're returning it.
Your mom will
If
still be proud
anything,
of you.
we're doing him a favor.
Exactly. It's fine. He obviously doesn't know where April is. Maybe this is just a really weird situation. You didn't steal anything, so that's okay. And it's April's, so I'm returning it to her. I'm not keeping it. I'm not even borrowing it.
Look, I don't know if you've seen any of the reruns of Starsky and Hutch, but I am now what's called an accomplice.
I have seen those, and I'm fairly sure that what you are is at best an accessory after the fact. Accomplice implies that you were very much more involved than you are. Right now, you're a good citizen following the potential thieves down the road, and just so happening to go to a place that only us have access to. So, let's go. Come on.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Okay.
Excellent. Yeah. Today, backpacks. Tomorrow, banks. Okie dokie. So you arrive back at the hideout. And you head in, and as Jeremy, you open the door and hit the lock, and there's the familiar like, damn it. And as Jeremy gets the zap, Jack, the cassette Walkman on the backpack crackles to life. You didn't know the Walkman had a speaker on it. You thought it was just headphone jack. But the Walkman crackles to life, and you hear a voice. And the voice says, you hear it basically say, Jacqueline, Jeremy, Milton.
Who's Jacqueline?
Uh,
I think he means you. Yes.
The voice
Hello?
again crackles and repeats. Jacqueline, Jeremy, Milton.
Is that April's voice?
It's not April's voice. It is a weird.
Can we head into
Yes?
the hideout and cluster around it?
Mhm.
Okay.
who is this? Who's calling?
Who are you? Because I'm upset. Who are
Yeah.
you? And what are you doing in our friend's Walkman?
Nice.
Okay, I don't think they're actually in the Walkman. I think they're using it as a method. Oh, I'm sorry.
Excellent.
I'm sorry.
Jack
sorry.
turns
Yes.
on you and just glares at you.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah,
Like that
yeah.
wasn't
That's fair.
obvious?
Jack is so upset.
Alan, is there a tape in the Walkman that's rolling right now, or is it like on radio mode, or what? Because Milton's gonna look at
You
it.
pick it
Yeah.
up and look at it.
Yeah.
There is no cassette,
Hmm.
and it's not on radio mode. The buttons aren't like the play button isn't even pressed.
He just sets
you
it
can
down.
see you can see the spokes inside turning, and the crackly electronic voice that comes out basically says, "Laneway, April, help." And as it kind of crackles, and there's like a staticky, which rings in all of your ears. You notice now the device that you left on the table, the blinks have gotten faster. And the voice once again, "Laneway, April, help." And that is where we will end today's adventure. The
Brilliant.
first episode.
Oh
Tales
yeah.
from the Loop.
Oh,
Woo! Oh, brilliant, you guys. Oh my God.
Nice game, y'all.
That was creepy. That was real creepy there.
did not like it. Well, no, you know when you're torn between being like, I loved it, and
Yeah.
also ruh-roh.
Yeah, Rut-row is right.
Also, you're like,
A big Rut-row. Oh my
I
God.
love the narrative opportunities, but God, it is creepy to be living them.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
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 100%.
Yeah.
Alan, thank you so much for putting these pieces in front of us to play with tonight. This has been freaking awesome. I'm so excited for next week. So we'll be back on Saturday for more of this story. Thank you to the four of you. Well, the three of you, the four of us, whatever. And thank you. There will be more people here next week, I think. Thank you to the groups of people that are hanging out in the chat with us, getting goofy and making some great 80s references. There was some really fun stuff going on in the chat. I was trying not to get too distracted, but it was really funny. So thank you guys for that. Should we go around the table one more time and just do remind people who we are? Because I think, there's some new faces here, and I think it's good to let people know who we are. So, Alan, go ahead, please. Let's start with you.
Yes. Kia ora, everyone. My name is Allan Henry. I am a performance capture artist and a big nerd. You can find me on socials at @AllanHenry_official. If any of you all are in Grand Rapids, Michigan in the middle of November, I'll be at Grand Rapids Comic Con just hanging out. So if you can, stop by and say hi. But if not, you'll most likely find me online running or playing games for Guild Superior and other wonderful friends as well. And it's been a joy I had such a good time in being introduced to Guild Superior and you, Dave, and your team. And it's such a joy to be able to bring my friends, Emily and Josh, on board as well.
Absolutely.
This is so great. I love the fact that everyone's, we're kind of in this situation now in the TTRPG sphere where we're building community more and more and more. It's really lovely. That's me.
Oh, thank you so much, Alan. It's just a joy to have your energy here. And yes, bringing new friends into the guild is that's what it's all about, is meeting more people and playing more games. So thank you for that. Well, let's jump over to Emily next.
Guilds are made to be grown. I'm Emily. I work in publishing and in a bunch of other creative storytelling spaces as well. And I I'm just so amped to be here. Yeah, super short. I'm not in Grand Rapids next weekend, so you won't find me there. Yeah.
I'm not there next weekend. I'm there from November 15th to the 17th.
Okay, well, I won't be there then either.
Wait, what? We don't know that.
We don't know.
You're currently in New York. You were in like somewhere else earlier.
I was in Michigan like 3 days ago. Like I'm probably going to leave it another little while before I, just pop over to Michigan. Yeah.
Bring your snow boots, Allan. Bring your snow boots.
Hot cider. Hot cider is a go.
Hot cider.
Hot cider.
Yeah.
Hot cider.
In the
hot cider.
Hot cider.
We do not have it here in Aotearoa. We should.
I'm going home to make it.
Yeah. I expect you to bring the recipe back home. Thank you.
Wow. What a great opportunity, though. Hot cider.
It's so good, Allan. It's so good.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's part cider house and part like burlesque, I think. Like hot cider. You know what I mean? Like
hot cider.
Ooh.
Hot cider.
Hot cider.
Maybe Dave's not had hot cider before either. Josh, who are you?
So I'm Josh. I've been playing Jeremy today. I am a DM, a forever DM. And yeah, lifelong story nerd. Been an absolute pleasure getting to dive into Tales from the Loop because it's a great fun system with some excellent people. Mm-hmm. And I'm just really looking forward to the next 6 weeks after this week.
Yeah. We're getting into it. We're going in deep.
So excited. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna ride this train all the way to the end of the line. So hopefully you guys can come back and join us next time. And that's all I got.
Thank you so much.
Don't really have any socials.
Hey, call yourself lucky, man.
My friends are on this stream.
That's right.
You're like, I have, yep.
I'm going to take that as a win because I'm sort of embedding myself into this friend group a little bit and I'm absolutely having a blast with it. So that's my shtick. Thank you so much, Josh and Emily and Allan. Thanks to everybody. You guys know me. I'm Dave. I don't need to go into it, but we are going to raid into some of our friends. And as we get ready for the raid, I just want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you to Carl Casey for providing us with permission to use those dope tracks that you heard. Yeah, we'll be back next weekend, next Saturday for this game. Saturday here, Sunday for those of you in New Zealand in the future. We'll be back. So come back and check us out. We'll see you guys all real soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.